The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com. What's up? Did you get your is that a fake ring?
Yeah. You ruined it. You're supposed to like open it up and look at me and just start laughing.
I didn't even see the ring. Like I looked over, I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked, I was like, he's waiting for me to see something. And I was like, what is it?
Hold on. Let me fix myself here. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is my replica 1981 World Championship ring. I don't have a 2021.
Yeah.
But I have this one.
That's cool.
So, yeah. Today is a good day, as Ice Cube would say.
Yeah.
And he said that actually before game 2.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, you could tell by my voice. First of all, I have to apologize for my voice. It's a little rough.
Yeah.
But you could tell by my voice that I had a really fun day yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to the 2024 World Championship Dodger Parade, World Series Parade.
I have to do a little brag. I have to do a little bragging. Mm-hmm. I don't have any bragging to do in baseball because my team.
I got a lot of stuff going on, so go ahead.
I don't have a lot of bragging I can do with the baseball team that I like. But I do have to brag that our parade was bigger.
Oh, how many people were there?
5 million.
5 million?
It was the 7th largest gathering in the world.
Well, to be fair, they had not won a championship
in 100 years.
In 100 years.
People like traveled from like everywhere.
Yeah,
and then because I remember that parade and I'm watching it and going like, man, this is cool, whatever. And then I remember seeing like, this is the 7th largest gathering. And I was like, there's no way. I was like, that's stupid. Mm-hmm. Like, that's dumb. Like, you know what I mean? And then I started looking up. And then I looked it up last night because I was like, I wonder how many people are going to go to the Dodger one.
Yeah.
And they were like,
what was the figure that you saw? Because
they expected 100,000 and they were saying 250,000.
250,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, 250,000. That's pretty amazing. What was the last Laker championship? Well, not the last. Well, yeah. Yeah, no, not the last Laker championship because that was 2020. But in 2010, when it was the coming off the three-peat, it was 500,000 people.
Yeah,
heard that one.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, still like 250,000 people to turn out for an event is pretty. It was something.
Yeah,
it was something. I mean, like I said, my voice is like kind of cooked right now, so I'm just gonna.
Well, we were supposed to record yesterday.
We were supposed to record yesterday. Then the Dodgers had to go and win the World Series.
Yes, and I never got the message that we weren't recording yesterday, so I was just sitting there, set up, ready to go.
Oh, you were?
You never messaged me and said you were going to the parade.
I messaged you. I did.
In the group, you did.
Yeah, I know. I figured.
But you never messaged me, and we're like, "Hey, we're going to go to the parade tomorrow. So can we record Saturday?"
I swear.
No, I never did. I was like, Frank is so high on life right now, he is forgetting everything.
Just forgetting everything.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize.
That's okay. I was like, I don't have shit. I don't have anything to do, so it's all good.
Yeah,
I had to.
It was incredible. It was probably. I'm not gonna say the most. It wasn't the like best thing that I've ever experienced because life is a long time. You experience different things, but it is definitely one of the most incredible things I've ever experienced.
Now, what made it incredible? Because to me, looking from the outside looking in, I would never go to one of those things.
Okay, let me explain.
Yeah, give me the breakdown. I want to know from the parking aspect. Like, where did you park?
I will break. I was going to wonder. Okay, first of all, to everybody tuning in, I'm sorry. This is the last time in the season. This is good for the first 10 minutes. You
give
gotta
us something. This is the
give us
last
something.
baseball thing we can talk about, and give us because we. I was
You don't
like,
have to.
yeah, I was like, I'm so bummed because that's my baseball was my background thing. While I'm working, it was my, and now I got nothing.
Yeah. So you don't. This is 10 more minutes, and then you don't have to hear about it till April.
Yeah.
But so it started with them winning the World Series last Wednesday in New York. An incredible game. We won't get into the mud about that, but an incredible game.
The Yankees. I'll get into it because since I'm not a fan.
Well, I didn't know how deep you wanted to get into it.
No, since I'm not I'm not a super fan of either team, but I'm a fan of baseball.
Right.
So as a fan of baseball, that entire series was interesting because it was almost like the Yankees didn't want to be there. And then I have one connection to the Yankees, which is Anthony Rizzo, because he was on the 2016 team.
Yeah.
And he was the superstar on the Cubs, but on the Yankees, he's nobody.
Well, I mean, he's older now. I mean, 16 was a long time ago.
And he had broken bones and shit. But still, you have that connection, and you're just like, I was kind of like rooting, like, hit a home run, man, do something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you rooted so hard for him before, and he won you that championship.
Yeah. So
and now I definitely get it. But so that's the thing. So on a surface level, it's easy to say that the Yankees didn't show up and they didn't play as well as they could be. But if you think about some of the key moments in that series, Freddie Freeman's grand slam, a couple other moments. In reality, had these couple things not happened, it should have been 2-2 going into Game 5.
Yeah.
Really, the Yankees should have won that first game had it not been for Freddie Freeman's grand slam. The second game they dominated. The Dodgers dominated that game, and then my recollection is losing it right now. But there were key moments that happened against the Yankees, and then of course it was the errors in the fifth game. Those three errors that they came back from 0-5. And look, you know what kind of fan I am.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily a fair weather fan, obviously, but I am one of those fans, like, if it's not going my way, I don't want to watch. You kind of got a taste of that during our road trip against the Padres. The one of the games that they played the Padres in, they just got really annihilated, and I was done. I was done when it comes to postseason baseball, and this is where you and I differ. Like you're a fan of the sport, as am I, but you look at it from a different perspective. So even if they're losing, you're still invested because you want to see how this game plays. Yeah. But me, and take this for what it's worth. It's just like I just want to. Did they win or did they not win? That's what I want to know. So anyway, and take that however you want it. But
you're more of a fan of you being a fan of the Dodgers than the fan of the Dodgers.
Could be.
Remember that goes back to those decisions that we were talking about?
Yeah, we talk about that all
the decisions
time.
that we make are like
all the time.
Yeah, and if that's not going our way, we feel like we made the wrong decision, almost like kind of weird thing.
I'm
saying that completely wrong, but like
no, I know, I know what you're saying, but that all makes perfect sense. So going into that game 5. Going down 5-0 very early, very fast. I was over it. Two things. So it's kind of funny because we go into the fifth inning down 0-5, and Angie had to take my kid to this program that she does.
Yeah.
And she's like, she was gonna not just say, forget it, we don't have to go today. And my kid was like, yeah, because she didn't want to go anyway. So she's like, yeah, well, I don't, like, it's okay. So then we go down, 5-0, and Angie's like, all right, come on, we are gonna go. In the span of 5 minutes, it was going, not going, going, not going. So everybody kind of felt the same. We were all kind of defeated in that moment. Is my point. But then the first error happened, and then we scored some runs in the second error and the third error, and they tie it, and it was like incredible. It was just like we were all kind of just gave up. We all kind of gave up. Moving on. We're going to go to Game 6 in LA. We're going to see what happens. But it was just incredible how that game turned around. The second part of that non-wavering. So if I'm the fan that I am, Angie's the complete opposite fan. She's more like you. Even though she loves the Dodgers, she loves baseball in general. And a particular thing with her is because Walker Buehler pitched the last 3 outs of the game. Yeah. And he had just pitched a full game, not a full game, but he started a game a day before. Yeah. So for him to come out was huge. Angie never wavered on Walker Buehler. Earlier in the season when he was getting knocked around because he had been injured, came off his second Tommy John surgery and he was injured and he came back. He was not pitching well. He was getting rocked. me, I was like, well, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But Angie never wavered, and she
Yeah.
she stuck to that guy all the way till the end. And he came in and he shut it down, got the last 3 outs. There are just, I mean, we could talk. We'll keep it short, but there are so many stories. And my favorite story of the World Series is the Dodgers won in 2020, COVID year, no parade, in a different stadium that was not their own, no minimal fans, because during the World Series they let fans in. Yes, there was a stigmatism, or not stigmatism, but a stigma with that whole thing this whole time. Even me being a fan, you know, 2020, 60 games. You know, I have a retort to that, which we can talk about later, but 60 games, not a real season. I mean, it was, but you still live with that, right? And even the players, like the whole, like all of these interviews that the players were doing afterwards, they felt it too. They're like, we just wanted to prove to everybody that this is the real deal, and now they did. And so I lost my train of thought.
Well, I know the funny part about it was the guy that struck out.
That's exactly where I was going. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. So anyway, sorry. I got so wrapped up in what I was saying. So my favorite storyline is Alex Verdugo, who was the final out on the Yankees. He played for the Dodgers. He got traded to Boston in 2019 for Mookie Betts, and Mookie Betts came to the Dodgers in 2020. They won a World Series then, and they won another World Series. And out of his mouth, he said the same thing. It was a 60-game season and blah, 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 talking all this crap. And it was like poetic justice, as he was the last out in the World Series.
Yeah.
It was incredible. The whole thing was just pretty insane.
There were some weird parts for me as a baseball fan, but I want to know about the parade. I want to know about I want to know about the parking. That's
that's what you're saying. Okay, so let me so that was all the whole thing leading up to the parade. Yeah. So the Dodgers win Wednesday, then it's like, we're gonna get our parade. It's coming Friday. And so we're like, well, what do we do? Like, some people suggested maybe taking the metro down there. So there's a stop in, the last stop is actually in Rancho. So one thought was drive down there, get on the metro, go down there, because we don't know how parking's going to be.
Yeah.
We ended up driving down there in the car, because like the metro was just like it too much stuff out of our hands. At least if we took our own car, we're more in control of what we can do, which was the right move, because everybody who did do that, we're late.
The train broke. One of the trains broke, and everyone just opened the doors and got out.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So see, like that was the risk, and we didn't want to take that risk. So we drove down there. We left. We got up. We got on the road about 5:30. We got down to downtown LA about 7. Found great parking. There was like a private parking garage near. So where the spot we ended up was the Walt Disney Concert Hall. Mm-hmm. It's on the corner of First and Hill, and so we found this parking garage right around the corner. It was $8 for parking, so like free parking basically.
Yeah.
So we paid for parking. We got up there. We sat down in our spot about 7:30 is when we sat there, and we got probably one of the best spots in the whole parade. Because if you go watch the footage, there's just deep, like thousands of people deep. We were on the fence on the parade route.
Yeah.
So like one of the criticisms that people have said, comparing this parade to past parades, like a Lakers parade. Is the Lakers parade, it lasted a couple hours. This whole parade lasted about 45 minutes. The Lakers parades lasted a couple hours, where they would drive, stop, interact with fans, move forward, stop. This one, they didn't stop. They just kept going. However, since we were on a corner, the buses had to like slow down, and it kind of jammed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we're right there. One person, because there was one person in front of us, so one person behind the fence, and it was right there. It was all right in front of us. And then so the first bus went through. Each bus carried, the first bus was all the management and their families, and then the players were on the other buses. Well, the bus that stopped right in front of us had all the pitching staff, and it was Kershaw and Banda and Knack and Bueller. Like, we're on this bus. And so Angie had the pocket. She was filming with the pocket. I was filming my phone, and I zoomed in a little tighter than she was. And I just held my phone, just hoping I got it. And I got some incredible things. Someone had thrown a beer at Joe Kelly. He's a relief pitcher. He catches it one-handed outside the bus, and I got that on film.
That's
and then
cool.
Actually just today, so today's Saturday, I put that up on my Instagram. He doesn't have an Instagram, but his wife does. And she reshared it today.
That's cool.
So it was super cool. It was super, super cool. So yeah,
did you guys take chairs and sit down? Because I was like,
we did. So that was the other thing.
Be wrecked.
So that was the other thing. It was like, well, do we take chairs? Do we not take chairs? And we're like, we're just going to take chairs. And look, we did. We sat there from 7:30 to about the parade was a little behind because they had to like shut down the freeway for the players to get on and then get to in front of City Hall. And so we're like, yeah, we definitely need to take chairs. So we set up chairs, which was save my life, dude, save my life. And we just sat there. Everybody was super cool. All the fans were super cool. Like, everybody was just in a good mood and good vibes, and everybody's just like chanting. And we bought like an air horn thing. Like,
I saw that. That was cool.
So we're like got this air horn, and I didn't start losing my voice until the parade came around, and I just like it was just like an out of body experience. It was just like screaming and just like it was incredible. It was crazy. Yeah. And so like the question is it worth it? For me, 100, like it was 1,000%.
Well, it sounds like it actually went pretty smooth for
and then
what could have been chaos. Because I'm so crazy about that stuff. Like if I go into a parking lot and I can't find a parking space, like I get it's weird with me because like when we went to New York, I was like 100% patient. Crowds, it was fine. Mm-hmm. But like sometimes when I go to like the grocery store, it depends on the mood I'm in. I think just
and it's the thing. Like you go to New York. It's like sitting in traffic. Yeah. Like everybody complains about sitting in traffic. Yeah, sitting in traffic freaking sucks. Yeah. There's nothing you could do about it. Yeah. You're there. Like you have to get where you're going. So once you become kind of like okay with that, it's fine. You know? And same scenario.
Yeah. Well, I think traffic will never be fine. I think what you guys were doing since you were expecting like once you're expecting it and you know it's like a big concert or something. Like you're expecting you're expecting like this, but if you're excited about what you're going, then it's all worth it in the end. Yeah. So the thing is we sat there for hours to have it was 3 minutes. Like the whole experience lasted. That's another 3 minutes. Thing too. Like the buses drive by and then you're just like,
as soon as they drove by, people started dispersing. You know, I gotta hand it. There were some incidences like if you that happened, but it wasn't. You know how things can get out of control. It was never out of control. Some people like try to climb the poles. But it was kind of funny because like a couple guys climbed the poles and the cops were like looking at him like, you have to come down. Like, They weren't like yelling at him to get down. They weren't like tripping. They're just like, hey man, you got to come down eventually and you're going to have to pay for it. Yeah. And they did. And they did. As soon as they got down, they cuffed him and everything like that. But, so everybody was super chill. Nobody was rowdy. Nobody was arguing or fighting or heated. It was just such a vibe, like a good vibe. But as soon as the buses passed, everybody started to disperse. So then we're like, okay, well, all right, let's find some food or something. So we made our way down a couple blocks. We found this like little tiny bar. It was a pirate themed bar. And it was like, everybody was up in there. We were able to get in there and get some drinks and get some food. And then, so they had 2 events going on that day. They had the parade and then they had an event at Dodger Stadium. So where you could buy tickets and you could go to Dodger Stadium and they had they had speeches and they had an Ice Cube performance and then they had a trophy, kind of not a presentation kind of, but just like a thing. Right. So, but you kind of had to decide which one you want to do. If you so we decided to do the parade, but we were able to go to this bar, hang out, get some drinks, get some food, watch it on TV. Everybody in the bar just like, chanting, go Dodgers. And, every time like a new player would come up and start talking, we start chanting.
So that was after the parade then?
That was after the parade.
Okay. So they ended up there.
They ended up at Dodger Stadium.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it kind of started and ended there. They kind of went a big loop. But so it was a really cool experience. I think we got out of there about 3:00.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. But then like the drive home, and this had nothing to do with the Dodgers. This is just Friday.
I was going to say Friday is a pretty crazy day to do that.
It was so we got from our house to down there. We got there an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah. The way back was going to take us 4 hours to get home. Luckily, we were able to kind of skirt through, like we went up through the mountains. Yeah. We just kind of went up Angels Crest Highway. Yeah. And went over the mountain. So we got home in 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was super. It was super chill. We made it in time.
That's a normal Friday. That's a normal Friday without that.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were able to get home, get our kids to their practice and stuff. So
yeah.
It was amazing. The whole season, like you can't see it, but I'm surrounded right now by things kind of like special moments in the season. And if you could humor me for a second, to go over them. First of all, you know how me and Angie are, right? It's confetti.
Oh, but
I'm holding a little box of confetti from the parade.
No, but that's cool because like that. If in our bathroom here at the house, there's a thing of sand.
Yeah, yeah.
That sand's from when we went to Florida.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that. That's cool.
So things like that is really cool. Mm-hmm. Now, I wouldn't buy a bottle of dirt but I would. I find the dirt was
Scoop up
if
a little bit.
Dirt was there, I would definitely take it for free.
Right. But you're not going to spend $100 and something for it.
But the confetti, that's rad though.
Yeah, we got this. I actually, from my very first Laker game I went to, I have a little kind of time capsule of that. I got like the tickets and some stickers and some, they won the game, so I have some streamers and stuff. So so I got that, and that's going to be a little thing.
Yeah.
We went to, we went to 5 games this season, 1 game with you. We went to other games. We were 5 for 5. Every game we went to, they won. We were there for the last home game in the season against San Diego, the one that clinched the NO West division for first place. We were there. A couple other cool moments. I got these balls right here. This one, I took my kid. We took our kid to one, and we were hanging out down by the bullpen while the pitchers were warming up. And I said, everybody's trying to get balls. Everybody wants the players to throw balls at them. I said, that's not the way to get a ball. I told my kid, I said, just stare at the clubbies, like the guys who help out. And then if you make eye contact with them, start playing rock, paper, scissors with them. Yeah. And she did. And she got a ball from one of the clubbies. So that was from one game. And then also we went to a minor league game, the Ranch Cucamonga Quakes. Yeah. And then we did the same thing. So she picked up a ball from, let me show the camera. These are the balls right here. Yeah. So she got a ball from there. So that was really cool experiences. I don't know if you noticed, in the previous podcast up on the wall, I have like a new little picture.
Mm-hmm. The one Lindsay gave you?
Yeah. So Lindsay Freeman, service DVD, pretty low, for my birthday. They came out earlier this year, did a little vacation in LA, and for my birthday, she gave me this really cool frame picture of Dodger Stadium from like 1965 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, then I got my Let's Go Dodgers towel and my ring. So, which I'll take off now because it's kind of uncomfortable. But yeah, so incredible season, incredible win.
Now, okay, so when did you start? When did you I'm a Dodger fan?
So we started in 2016. Okay. So, and it was always we were always basketball fans. We've been basketball fans forever, and we always follow the Lakers.
But okay, so 16, so they won in 20 with the little asterisk. So there was always they won a World Series while I was a fan, but it was never there was always the asterisk, right? Now that they won there are no asterisks to this.
No asterisks.
This is, they won it. They should have won it. The script says they should have won it. Yeah. They played the best team in the AL. There's no they played the wild card team in the AL. There's
always going to be something.
But now that they did this, can you now go into next season and just enjoy it?
That's a really good question.
Because so this happened to me in the late 80s with the Cubs. When they almost won, and then the guy reached over, caught the ball, and there was that controversy that. Yeah. That was when the Cubs were supposed to go to the World Series. Right. And that game, that's when it's just done, right? So then they won in 2016, and then I don't know when it was, but it was just I think it was when they disbanded that team, in 2019.
After the Dodgers, Dodgers.
They hit the Dodgers, and then they lost 16 games in a row.
Yeah, and then they're like, we're done.
They went from first place to last place, and then they disbanded. And I've kind of liked players when a Cubs player goes to a different team. I don't follow them, but I'm just I hope they do well.
You root for them. Yeah, you root for them. Yeah, I do that too, to a certain degree. Okay, so let me start with your first question. Yeah. Will it be easier to watch next season? Being an LA sports fan for so long, and this sounds very arrogant, I understand, you just get used to winning. You get used to these teams performing and hanging banners and getting trophies like the Lakers. I started being a Lakers fan in the late 90s, early 2000s. And they were just good, man. Yeah. They always won, and you expected them to win. And when they didn't win, you were bummed out. That's how this new dynasty for the Dodgers is going to be. I'll enjoy the games. Of course, I'll enjoy the games, but there's always this expectation to win.
Yeah, that expectation will last. I don't know how long it'll last a long time with the Dodgers, I think.
The thing is we are literally at the beginning. We have Shohei Ohtani and
which was funny because both the superstars didn't do anything.
Yeah, I know. That's baseball.
They almost went identical. Like before Judge finally hit a home run, like if you looked at Ohtani and Judge's record, they were like basically identical.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I like that because I'm like an underdog rooting fan. So like if the Yankees are going up against like the Mets and the Mets are the underdog, I'm going for the Mets. Like I'm just an underdog type of person. So to me, like
that's how a lot of people are.
When Freddie Freeman, even though Freddie Freeman is really good, people weren't looking at Freddie Freeman to do that.
No.
So when he did that, and then there was another moment that Freddie, that is probably a little bit not looked at as much as that grand slam, is when I think he beat out a ball to first, or he beat something out to first.
That was during the when he was called safe. They overturned it.
Yeah, and so not a lot of people realize how important like that was, or because he was his ankles messed up.
Yeah.
So like for him to just like hustle like that, like. So I was rooting for because I like Freddie Freeman. I've always
he's Mr. Baseball. He's like the nicest guy in baseball. Yeah. You know, and he deserves, like, his kid got really sick earlier this year. You know, he's faced a lot of adversity. Talking about Freddie Freeman specifically, like he became a Dodger 2 years ago
from the Braves.
coming from the Braves, and the Braves kind of did him dirty, and that's a whole nother story. So the Braves do him dirty. He kind of has nowhere to go. The Dodgers pick him up. His very first at bat as a Dodger, he had 50,000 people chanting "Freddie, Freddie." So that's got to say something, you know, about that dude.
No, he's just a funny dude. I like people that have fun when they play baseball.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's really cool.
And some of the things.
Oh no, go ahead.
And some of the things he said after winning, like, and this is again just part of this dude's character. He's like, "This is not mine. This is my dad's." He's like, "It's my dad."
So I think that, like, I'm a huge fan of that, and a huge fan of that type of personality. The guy that I don't like is Kiki Hernandez.
Well, yeah, no, I get it. I totally get that.
Like when
if you have Freddie Freeman, Kike Hernandez is the complete
totally
opposite of that,
right? Yeah. So like, there's something about that dude. Like I even made a comment on a TikTok video, like even when he was doing his speech at the stadium.
Yeah, about Fat Joe.
Yeah, and I was like, that's just weird energy, man. That's weird energy. Like, I like Freddie Freeman's energy.
Yeah, but I mean, yin and yang. You know,
there's no yin and yang. I just don't like that energy. It's just it puts a very put off energy for me. Like, because I see people like that just in life in general, and I just like. Yeah. And I think that trigger, like, so when especially when he cussed on the TV, when he was "Are we live?" and he said that, when he said that, it triggered something in me, and I don't know what it was. You know, you something like that. But
like you said, it's off-putting.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's just like you don't have to be like that. So I think that I'm so. I like Freddie Freeman a lot.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Like I got in this habit this season, especially the postseason, calling them by their first names. Yeah, like, come on, Fred. And then there's Tommy Edman, who was another main character in this whole
what
thing.
A good story that was.
And so he was Tom. So, well, come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. Get it, Tom.
Him going from like nothing, like you said, like sitting on the couch during the season, like getting picked up and then winning the MVP of the NLCS. Like, that's crazy. You know, I like stories like that. I like stories like that because we all expected Ohtani to be the superstar. Mm-hmm. But then you see there's these nuggets in there of like
it takes a team, man. And that's the thing about baseball. Like, you know, basketball, you got two star players, you're going to go pretty far. You know, that's all you really need. Yeah. Football, if you got a good quarterback and a receiver, you're probably going to win the Super Bowl. That's fact. But baseball, you need a lot of guys in a lot of different moments to step up and do different things because it's such a long game. You know, again, basketball, you're talking about an hour game. Football, you're talking about an hour game. Baseball, you're talking about up to 3 hour game, actually with no time limit. There is no time limit necessarily. And the only thing to move the game forward is for specific things to happen. And until those things happen, you know, and it takes 100 moments to make it, you know.
So the first 30 minutes of this, we have talked about baseball, and we're going to end it with No. You don't need to apologize. This is not. We're baseball fans.
Yeah.
So your team winning the World Series is going to get talked about for a long. Like that's what we're going to talk about. We're not going to be like, cool, Dodgers won the World Series. Hey, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. So, but the moral of the story,
is
it takes a team.
It does.
Right.
It takes a team.
In everything in life, whether it's just like your car club, your truck club, your friends, your whatever it is, it takes a team.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it also is just a vehicle that, like, and this sounds so corny, but you know, whatever. It's just like it's a vehicle that brings people together. That game we went to as a club, you know, you, me, Steve, Chelsea, Jamie, Angie, like that made us strong. Like that bonded us stronger. You know, our team, our little Forbidden Fantasy team, you know, that made us stronger. Like, and that translates into other things. And that's like me working on my truck more and trying to be better and like trying to be more representative, you know, and
well,
like,
just, it makes you happy. And when things make you happy, you're more willing to do other things. Like it puts you in a better mood, you know?
Definitely. So yeah, baseball.
Now we got to wait until April.
Yeah, now we have a long wait.
But we have a really cool game to look forward to. The first game of the season is the Dodgers versus the Cubs in Japan.
Yeah, I know, that's pretty cool.
That's
going to be very exciting.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting. Yeah, I can't wait for next season. I get to go get my little thing is now I get to go buy my hat, because every team that wins the World Series, they take their logo and then put a gold stitching around it. So that's my thing. I'm going to go get my World Series hat with the LA with the gold around it. I have one other one from 2020, so I get my 2024. Yeah, just incredible. Just
and then
a lot of fun.
And then hope that this is the start of the dynasty.
I mean, like I said, it almost, and again, this answers your question. Can you like just be content? No, because this is the beginning. You have Shohei. This is his first season.
And
you know,
and the Dodgers didn't just walk away with this thing.
No,
like they
dominated.
They were no. They didn't dominate.
Oh,
I'm talking about
the regular season.
No, they didn't dominate the regular season. The Padres were on their heels the whole time. If the Dodgers would have flubbed a little bit, they wouldn't have even been in first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was almost the entire season. Well, even Arizona was.
Well, I mean, you could say dominated because they are number one in base. They wouldn't have the number one record in baseball.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter when the second place team is right behind you. You know what I mean?
True.
Like if you have a 10-game lead, then that doesn't matter. But when that second, if the team right behind you has the second best record in baseball,
right, then
they're pushing you. You know what I mean? So like they could have easily went on a 5-game losing streak towards the end of the season and not even won the pennant right there. But
yeah,
and then the Padres were really close to beating them in the postseason again. So it wasn't just this like walk in the park. You know?
No,
what I mean?
yeah, no, I get it. No, it was close the whole time, and it's kind of funny that you mentioned about that, because like going into the Padres series, it's like, I just want to beat the Padres. I just want to beat the Padres. And then after that, okay, fine, you know. But then, so like we do that and you get a taste. And then they go into the next one and you're like, okay, you know, this is good. You know, we beat the rivals, so to speak. And now I'm okay. But then like they lose one game and you're like, no, want to win.
This is not okay.
No, this is not okay. Just win, you know. So anyway.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the dynasty, it seems like if they get their pitching straight, then there's no stopping them.
Oh, if all the pitchers get healthy, it's going to be insane. But anyway, all right,
we're 32 minutes. We got
that's the end of that one.
That's the end of the baseball talk, guys.
Go Dodgers.
We'll resume in April.
Yep. Pick it back up to annoy everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? Okay, check this out. To be fair, we see that a lot. To be fair, you know, we do talk about a lot, and people they listen. They listen to us. They listen every week. You know, they might be curious too. They might be like, how the Dodgers. I get a lot of messages. I do get a lot of messages when they lose or when they win. I get a lot of messages. You know, so people, even if they're not into it, we still talk about it enough to where they're like, oh, I wonder what's going on over there.
Yeah.
You know,
and if no one listens to this podcast, we don't care.
Yeah, no, that's fine too. I'm just saying that the people who do.
Yeah.
So anyway, truck stuff. We brought up a really interesting question last week towards the tail end of our conversation.
Yes.
Which was, do you like driving your truck?
There's
and
a
I
couple,
thought that was
there's that. Yeah, there's that, and then there's these other two questions that I'm
right. Yeah. It was do you like driving your truck, and what do you think about people like being handsy at shows?
No, that wasn't the two questions.
That wasn't it.
No.
I just remember the other one.
Yep. No, that was my question. My question was, do you enjoy the truck? The other question was the leaning on trucks and then registration of shows.
Yeah.
So these three things will lead us out of the. Before that, though, I made these little things.
Oh, cool! I like those.
They're embroidered keychains.
That's nice.
And I have them on the website with stickers now. So if you go to the link that says banners and stickers, I have sticker packs and this for $10.
You just reminded me of something I did that I totally forgot. Well,
yeah, your shirt.
To celebrate the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the 2024 World Series, I have reissued a shirt that we made a long time ago. It doesn't say Dodgers. It says Custom Life. It's a navy blue shirt. It says Custom Life, and it has a red baseball. It's very Dodger-esque. But, yeah, you could go to our website and pick those up. We got a pre-order going on. I'll start making and shipping those after Dino's. So the weekend of the 13th, I think, is when I'll start making those. But, yeah, so people do like those things. I had them before, and even non-baseball fans are kind of into them. Yeah. Just because they're kind of cool.
Baseball shirts look cool. And they're just cool T-shirts. Yeah. But
so go to our website and grab one. I don't have 4XLTs in that particular color. They only go up to 3XLT. Yeah. So our 4XLT buddies out there, I'm sorry.
Guys.
They probably hate the Dodgers anyway.
Yeah, who cares? My shirt should be done. When are you leaving for Chubbs? So let's just talk about these upcoming shows real quick, I guess. Yeah,
because we're Chubbs is next week. We still have one more podcast before we actually head to that. But this episode, Chubbs is this weekend.
Yes.
So hope people are rolling to it.
Chubbs, and then we've got Dino's, and then we've got Kalakis, and then Severed in the Southwest.
Yep. It's gonna be fun and busy and fun.
Post-pod, I have some post-pod stuff.
All right. I need to as far as Chubbs, more specifically, it's called a Day to Remember. So a Day to Remember. I'm probably gonna head out Friday evening. Is when I'm rolling up there after Angie gets off of work.
Okay.
So I don't know what's your plans.
I'm gonna Friday morning.
Oh, Friday morning. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to get up there and get settled and
stuff. Just to get up there and get just get up there, get the spot, get settled and just kind of hang out.
Cool.
I don't know. I don't think I'm in a super rush to get up there because there's not much going on. But last year we had, how many members do we have there last year? Vehicles, 36 or something.
We had 30 something vehicles.
This year we'll have like one,
maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how it goes. It took us, to be fair, it took us almost a year to get everybody hyped and get ready to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like we were talking about, that was the 30th anniversary of the club, and we were going to celebrate up there. And we started the previous year saying, this is what we're going to do. Start getting ready, start getting your stuff together, start getting it organized. And it took us an entire year to do that. So it's not going to happen again this year.
No.
But is Lindsay still coming with you? Is she still setting up a booth?
Yes, she is. Yeah. She's
okay. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yep. And then my shirts from Brandon should be done Thursday.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe they'll be done Thursday.
I think
go
so.
Get them. Yep. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really nice. Yeah, I'll go get those on Thursday.
Yeah, because I told him Thursday because I didn't want you to have to drive down there and then drive back up and
I never ever. I still, even in that scenario, I don't mind going to pick up shirts for you.
Yeah,
but that one stings a little more when I have to go down there and drive past my house.
Exit, you're like, yeah. So I figured you could drive down there and then go back up to your house, get off, and then you didn't have to.
Yeah, that's fine. That somehow mentally that feels better.
Yeah, I would be not mad, but I would just be like,
well, that's okay because you're going to take a lovely little trip to Scottsdale to pick up my hats.
I am?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Are they done?
I'll contact RJ. And
I was going to say, just have them shipped to my house. I'll pay for the shipping. It's cheaper than the gas to drive to Scottsdale from my house. And they're just hats. Small box of hats. So
I'll work it out. It's just funny.
Yeah. My SEMA week is going to consist of me not doing anything truck related except editing a bunch of videos that I need to catch up on.
We can, I know we were about to go into this discussion about the questions and stuff, but it's also SEMA week.
Yeah.
Right. SEMA starts tomorrow, Tuesday. Yeah. There's already, and we're recording this on a Saturday. People are already heading up there. The whole SEMA thing is going on. And 10 years ago would have been a completely different scenario for you.
Yeah.
You would have been deep in the SEMA thing, Yeah.
I haven't been since 2019.
Oh, really? Yeah. Not gone. I think I went in 18.
Yeah, but I went up to the mini truck thing when we got our rings and stuff, but
you didn't actually go to SEMA that
no.
time. Yeah. It's amazing things, how things change, because SEMA was such like a huge part of the year.
But
you know?
yeah, SEMA itself. People are asking me like this, dude. Do you think it's changed? Is it worse? Is it this? I'm like, no, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
I went up to Vegas to party.
Yeah.
And then it turned into work. And then all the work that I was doing was like, I could just do it at Dino's, you know, because it was the same trucks were going to be there. Mm-hmm. And then it just turned into no longer partying. Like Vegas is a different animal when you don't drink or gamble.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's just a whole different thing. So like it just becomes more annoying than anything.
Right.
And it's like SEMA itself. Like I don't want to ever deter anyone from going to SEMA. You should go, but like it was funny because SEMA actually wasn't the reason that we went to Vegas. We just went up there to hang out on Fremont Street.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say, because like SEMA has always two thoughts on SEMA. Number one, about the party thing. Like that's how I was introduced to it when I first was hanging around the club, and that was the thing before we had the AVI, and that was like our meetup. Mm-hmm. It would be SEMA. SEMA was the meetup. Yep. Everybody would go, you know, for various reasons, whether it was as an exhibitor, as a buyer, as something, as media. Everybody was doing something, right?
Yeah.
But it was also the time for the whole club to get together. And I remember my first one was 2014. Hanging out with everybody was so much fun.
Oh, it was so much. I love that.
So much fun. Man. And then, you know, things changed when we got the AVI, and then that became the meetup spot. And then,
I think that's what it is. Since we've been at the AVI, it's like been this thing where it's like the people from out of town, they're only going to fly in once,
right?
Like from Canada or whatever. So they choose the AVI over that.
Yeah, yeah. So and that's changed. And then my second thought about SEMA has always been that like there has always been this thing. There's someone walking behind the door. There's always, where do I start with this thought? People have always aspired to have their car at SEMA, mm-hmm. almost like it was a car show. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yes, but no. Mm-hmm. Like, I think people tend to forget the basis of SEMA, which is it's a trade show. Mm-hmm. It's for people to create aftermarket products, for those people who consume those products or buy it to resell it. That's for them to go to talk to the people producing it. That's like what it is. And also a bunch of other stuff. SEMA does a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. But the SEMA show in particular. So the two things I always found interesting was, one, it was always people's dream to get their vehicle at that show, which I get that part. But then the second one was this thing where it was always like, since it was a SEMA vehicle, it was something extra special about it. And before I really got into SEMA at all, that's what I thought. I'm like, these are SEMA cars. They're wonderfully built vehicles, until you actually get through the mud on it. And you're like, if someone said, hey man, you want to buy this truck? It was a SEMA 20 something vehicle. I'm like, no, thanks.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's some of them and some of them not. But like you have the really cool ones like that, the Ring Brothers build, mm-hmm. the Roadster Shop guys, like the Trey 5 guys, like the actual, like those things that but then you have like the tonneau cover companies, right? Mm-hmm. Like I don't even know who makes tonneau, Lear or something. Mm-hmm. They're gonna showcase their product on a mostly stock vehicle.
Oh yeah.
Like we had a guy in the club, and his truck, it was a SEMA truck, but it was just a lowered Colorado. You know, it wasn't anything special, and so that becomes a SEMA truck. And then you have these guys like the mini truck guys or the truck guys, and they categorize a SEMA vehicle as something totally different. When, right. Like you think it's like this full-on show vehicle. It doesn't have to be a show vehicle to be a SEMA vehicle, but the getting your truck into SEMA is definitely something special. Like,
oh, for sure. And then I get that part. Yeah, that's the part that I get. Yeah, I totally get that.
But it's like it would be cool to do it, but then like I had this like when I bought the Maverick, I was like, oh, it'd be cool to get this to SEMA, because it's almost easier to get a newer model vehicle, right, like the Maverick.
They're showing off all their parts for that vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. They're showing off the accessories essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah. So give me a shell, give me something, you know, put it on this. Because some companies, if you showcase something that's too modified, it's going to not scare off, but it's the people that like sell shells for a living or sell tonneau covers for a living at a sport accessory truck shop. They're not selling them to like crazy modified vehicles.
That's a really great point.
Yeah,
that's a really great point, because they don't want to bagged and body truck, and then because like that's not their end consumer.
No, it's like 5% of their consumer
or less. It's just going to be a random dude who just needs a cover for his truck. And then what the Lear needs is they need someone who has an accessory shop to come up and say, look at a stock one and like, oh, this fits really well. These brackets work really well. Like that's what it's for.
And if no one's ever listened to any SEMA, the CEO or vice president, whatever of SEMA, he was on podcast called The Inevitable, and he was on there twice, and I listened to both of them, and I got a really good insight of SEMA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was the other part that I was talking about.
Yeah, like they like SEMA Garage. It's in Diamond Bar. They do a lot of work with like small companies that are making aftermarket parts, like that need to get CARB certified in California. So they'll put up the money and run these tests to get these things done for these companies. Like they do a lot of really good things. So
SEMA basically got the cruising ban lifted in California.
Yeah, and they are our representatives in the aftermarket truck world, because you do have the government that sometimes, depending on where you look at things, like they'll make laws in absolutes. We talk about that a lot. So you have like the government of California, Clean Air Act. They don't know about stuff. They just make a law that's just a blanket law.
And also, it gets even more interesting, and we're not going to get into the politics of it. We're just going to kind of talk matter of factly.
Yeah.
That sometimes it takes one dude. Just recently, there was one guy, and some representative in California said, "Hey, we should make it a thing that if you go over the speed limit, the car dings and tells you to stop."
Yeah.
And everybody goes, "That's a terrible idea."
Yeah.
That's a really stupid idea. But what happens is it's just one guy.
Yeah.
And then it turns into this whole big old thing. But then it takes organizations like SEMA to say, not only is that a bad idea, this is why it's a bad idea.
Yeah, because exactly, and that's where the old adage of college is not important. Mm-hmm. College is very important. Someone made a comment, because we talked about like trade schools and stuff, and how important real trade schools and community colleges, and not the quote unquote fake university type stuff. Like we got in that discussion, and a few people said, "Oh yeah, you don't need college, just go to one of those." And I was like, no, it's a balance of the both. You need trade schools and 4-year universities, because we do need certain people to understand certain things. You need to understand how government works in order to make real change.
Yeah,
you can't just get your go on TikTok or go on some podcast and you think that's the way it works and then yell and scream about it. Like you have to figure out how to do this stuff. And SEMA is a good representative of us. Yeah.
And also, like, another thought on SEMA real quick is like, it, as much as it's not a huge part of like your life, it was never really a big part of my life, but I'm talking about you in particular, like as much as it's changed for you, it's always very assuring to know that it still exists and it's still there and it's still moving forward. That means the industry is either still vibrant or growing. It means all of this stuff is working. So it's always like, it's always comforting to know that thing is there still doing the thing, you know?
And it's changing. It is changing because of you have more online retailers and Amazon and all these things. So there is a change happening and you can see it while they let the public in on Friday now. And they never used to do that, you know, and there's concerts and it's more entertainment value.
Ignite thing.
Yeah, it's an entertainment thing. And they realize that. So anyways, go listen to the Inevitable podcast with the SEMA guy on there. If you need to link, just hit me up and I'll send it to you, because it was really a good insight on what they're doing.
Also, sign up for the SEMA newsletter. That's always really good. There's a lot of information, a lot of good stuff going on in there. So, So everybody, I hope everybody has a good time at SEMA this week. That who does go and who does enjoy it and who gets you know what they need out of it.
Yeah,
you guys have fun.
Yeah,
and then also, if you go to SEMA and you're doing all this stuff, come to the Day to Remember show afterwards, because that's the end of the weekend. It's on Saturday. The show's on Saturday at Buffalo Bills at Prim, Nevada, which is the California-Nevada state line. Fun show. Should go.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then you're talking about Dino's next week. Dino's and then Calacas. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. It seems like it's winding down, but then there's just like bam, 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 bam.
I know, and then you feel like it, like after our October kind of like craziness and those couple weeks that we've had kind of chilling out, like it's gonna ramp up again, and then you feel like okay, afterwards it's gonna start going down. We just have to ramp back up for LST and next year too.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, I need to look up Airbnbs for LST. Oh,
cool. But anyway, so let's get back on track with this.
Okay, so let's do this. So my thing, I was talking about comfort of the vehicle.
Right. Because like you were talking about, what you said last week was when the Tacoma's done, how are you going to feel afterwards driving it?
So two things. We got the seats mounted. We got the front end kit on. That video will be out probably. This comes out Monday. That will be probably the Taco Tuesday video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So that'll be probably then. So you'll see that process of what we did. And we got the seats in permanently. They are bolted in. They are all that stuff. So I sat in the seat. And I'm going to put myself on blast here. I've talked about my weight before. So I went from 391 pounds to 311 pounds. And I was gung-ho on going, I'm going to keep going. And then something happened and I didn't give up. I stopped logging my calorie intake. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, you don't realize how much that you eat.
Right.
And so in the last year, I've gained 20-ish, 24-ish pounds back.
That's not bad, though.
It's not bad.
That's not bad. Don't be down on yourself, because that's not bad.
I'm not. I pulled my weight bench.
Who said I was down on myself?
Yeah, I'm not down on myself. Jeez.
I know, right?
But I got in my truck and I was like, okay, this is, I talk about this in the video. The comfort part is me. I can't make the truck bigger, but I can make myself smaller.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I could also just get rid of the truck, get a full size and be like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's like buying bigger clothes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. So I'm holding myself accountable. I'm in the 330s right now. So I'm going to buy Dinos. I'm hoping to lose some. And then, so I'll have updates. But,
nice. But did it feel like, beyond that, did everything feel pretty nice inside?
Yeah. Sitting in there and stuff. It felt, he made the seat brackets a while back and they were too high. And I was like,
I remember that. That was in one of the videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so now he cut the feet off of the things and they are basically flat on the floor.
I saw that. Looks good.
Yeah.
So when the photo that you took, that you shared, is that the seat position that you're going to be driving at?
Yes.
Because you had a nice little sneaky room back there for like a sub or something.
Yeah.
There's
still not going to be a sub back there.
Oh, you're not putting a sub in?
No, I'm not going to. Okay, so I'm not going to be driving this truck around where I'm going to need a sub. Oh, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put very good mids and highs in it.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll be fine. Yeah. And then behind the seat.
Then you're going to be like, a little bass would be pretty nice.
There, you can get some nice bass out of some 6x9s or 6.5s or whatever. Like, you can get some really I don't want to say bass, but like a full sound.
Right.
You know, because I'm going to have to put a 5-channel amp or whatever if I'm going to do a sub and mids and highs and stuff. So I'm just going to put storage behind there. Like maybe we talked about, like putting an ammo box behind there, like doing an amp behind one and an ammo box behind the other, and just put because there's no room in that truck. Right. So if two people got in that truck, we're elbow to elbow. There's not going to be no fancy center console with cup holders. No, it's just going to be
real bare bones, huh?
Real bare bones. Yeah.
I would can I mark this 54? Well, mine's a little ahead. 5427 on November 1st, 2024. Brian said it's going to be stripped down with no cup holders. I just want to mark that down. So later
in the dash, there's cup holders.
Oh, is this like mine where it's got like a little?
Yeah, it pulls up.
Okay. So you got something, because you have to have cup holders somewhere.
You do.
That's a legit thing.
But let's be completely honest. Where am I going to drive? The distance I'm going to drive, where I'm going to need cup holders.
That's a good point too.
You know, I'm going to drive back from the Sunset Cruise night. That's 25 minutes away. Yeah. 30 minutes away. I'm going to be like,
you're like, I need a drink.
I got to stop. Where am I going to put this drink?
You know? I do have to, I always have something going on, so I got to have a cup holder.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No. I will have my little ice chest or my Buc-ee's thing. And I'll put it in the bed.
There you go.
There I go. But I might do something, and I don't know. We'll see.
It's just incredible to get to this point. How about that? Like when you send me a photo, and maybe forgive me if I'm stepping out of line here, but the fact that it's done at Pandas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge. That's a big accomplishment. Like when you told me that, I was like, whoa. And then you said, this is where I might be stepping out of line. You said that you had a moment with Panda too. Mm-hmm. That you were like, hey man, we did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
It is pretty crazy. But but then the next truck goes to him pretty soon.
Oh, really? We're just rolling.
I'm not stopping, man. I had this thought last night. I'm editing a video for Arizona High Test. I've edited Tray 5. I'm editing for Eye Candy Paintworks. I'm editing for Shift Speed Shop. AZ Pro, like I'm doing all these things, right? And I'm just like, I want to make my Tacoma video.
Yeah. Where's
And
yours?
so I don't want to say no, but I'm like I'm going to start to wind down on certain things. And we'll see. It's been a year now since Dino's last year. And I told myself at Dino's last year, I said, I'm going to give myself a year and see where I'm at. And this year's done really well, and people like the Tacoma videos, and they're buying merch, and they're doing this, and it's just like, okay, well now I'm just going like it's full on now.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's really, really cool to hear.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's exciting for as just a person who like watches. It's just really cool to watch. Yeah, very exciting. And then like your goal is to have the Tacoma running and driving and done at Forbidden, right?
The goal is at least to have it, running, driving, painted, and the outside done and functional. I don't know about the interior yet.
Yeah.
Realistically, the interior could get done between Forbidden and Mini Nets. I don't know yet, but the goal is to go to Forbidden done. If not 100%, 90%, and then the rest for Mini Nets. Like the goal is to take it.
I'm so excited about that too. I'm excited for our Mini Nets week.
Yeah.
This is gonna be so much fun.
It is
to have a truck there to cruise around and like hang out, and I'm really excited for that. So when we're
gonna go skipping rocks with sad music.
Jeez.
The amount, not the amount, but the comments were I was like, oh man.
Well, at least you weren't alone in how you felt. Everybody kind of felt the same way.
I don't think everybody felt the same way. I think a few people did.
Yeah.
We can't say our sample size is very small. If 4 people make a YouTube comment, that's not a very, and 5,000 people have watched the video, that's a small sample size.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean there were some similar thoughts, but okay. Hey, it is what it is. I'm working on my Cruise of the Pines video right now, so
yeah.
I'm just gonna make it freaking thrash music, like heavy hip hop music.
Now the
complete opposite. Yeah, it's gonna do the complete opposite.
It's gonna be 30 seconds long because it's so fast. You just have to just chop it up so fast.
Yeah. But I don't know. Anyway,
So these questions.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with the leaning on the trucks, or do you want to start? Let's go real back to the comfort of the vehicle.
That's where I want to start.
Okay,
So, Mike, wait, before we begin, are we dropping in on this?
No.
Oh,
are we dropping in?
Yeah.
This isn't really. I guess it's
might as well just go ahead and hit it.
All right, ready, 1, 2, 3.
Drop
and drop.
Dropping in.
Drop in.
Drop.
I dropped everything. I knew the drops would come.
And done.
All
right. So before we begin, I wanted to clarify the comments that we got. Are these like okay? Like
I don't want to say names.
Yeah, that's where I was wanting.
Yeah. These are
so we're on the same
comments.
page. Okay, anonymous comments.
So you guys, just so you know, if we ever say like what we did, like, hey, send me a question and let me know. We're not gonna blast you.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be blasted, then that's fine. But these are anonymous. I basically put it out there and said, hit me up. I want to know about the comfort of your truck. Like, did you spend a bunch of money or do all this thing and now you don't like driving it? Mm-hmm. Because
it's a good question.
It is, and I think it's very important.
Because one, did you get all the way to the end and you figured that maybe this isn't what I wanted? And also us getting older and not like, we want more comfort. Before where comfort didn't matter. It was just how it looks and how it drives.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to change. So it's a very, very good question.
Yeah. And expectations are starting to change.
Should we start with ourselves?
Sure.
Like how we feel. Okay. So me, and this is no secret. We've talked a lot about this before. There was points where I didn't like driving my truck because the gas situation was just so annoying. It just made me not want to drive the truck just because it was too much of a hassle. That was one part. Even now, like it being ready to go, I don't not like driving it because whenever I do drive it, by the time I'm done, I'm like, I freaking love this thing. I love driving this thing. But there are certain things where like I wouldn't want to drive it. Like we're talking about me possibly bringing it out to Severn in the Southwest. It'll drive out there. I don't want to drive it out there. I took it out to Arizona one time. I've taken it to a lot of different places, but after a while, it is just a smaller truck. It gets uncomfortable. We're all used to these like basically luxury trucks. If you think about it, even the Titans, you would consider like a luxury vehicle.
Yeah.
So we sort of like get used to that. So then when we go back to like something like our mini trucks, they're not very comfortable.
No, my biggest thing is my legs being like not being able to be stretched out. Like I want to be able to take my left leg and make it completely straight.
Yep.
And driving that hard body up to Cruise to the Pines made me realize I'm not driving one of these things for more than, and if you do, more power to you.
Yeah, we're not talking about anybody, we're not putting anybody down for doing that, dude. If you love driving your mini truck for 10 hours at a time, dude, that's sick.
Way
that's
more
awesome.
power to you. Maybe I'll try an extra cab next and see where I'm at there. You know what I mean? Like even your 4Runner, you can put the seat back and it's a little bit, like,
but
probably,
it's still a small vehicle.
Yeah.
It's not, and it's not. Again, what are we used to? We're used to. I mean, it has air conditioning and heat and everything like that.
Yeah.
But we're used to cruise control. We're used to easy,
Yeah.
power steering.
Yeah.
We're just used to too much stuff.
So with my truck, my biggest thing too, like I don't like noises. I don't like rattles. I don't like thuds. I don't like weird things. And in the Maverick, I was having all kinds of. It's a unibody, so the shocks are bolted to the body. The bags, the springs, it's all bolted to the body. Where on a frame on truck, that stuff's bolted to the frame, and then you have rubber or urethane or whatever. You have bushings between the body and the frame, which absorb those things. Mm-hmm. So I literally took the back suspension off of the Maverick, and the bolts, I taped the bolts and put them back in because there was a tiny bit of play. And I took felt, like real thick felt, and felted everything. And now the truck, it's like you go over a bump and it just goes drunk. Like there's no thud, because I hated that. So I know when I start driving the Tacoma, I'm gonna I don't want the inside of the cab to feel tinny.
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna definitely put like sound mat down. You know what I mean, and like make sure that I to do as much pre work as getting it prepared.
Right.
For that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the difference. Like some, I never did that with mine. And maybe some people out there, that's what happens when they start disliking driving their truck. It's because they haven't done those little things to tighten it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I enjoy driving my Maverick because it's quiet. It's quieter, and it's like when the door shuts, it feels good when I'm, there's not a lot of rattle. So I know when I'm doing this Tacoma that I'm going to try to do everything around that. So the messages that I got, which I only got a couple,
right,
but were just like, I hate driving my truck. Mm-hmm. One guy's he's a full show truck, and he goes, I put 6 miles on it a year, and then another one was just like, it's like he enjoys driving it, but he absolutely hates driving it at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think it is super important if you are building a truck to, especially at our age, to make sure what's important to you, you do that.
Yeah.
And if having not having the lowest truck is not the most important thing to you, but having air conditioning is, have air conditioning.
One of the comments that we got, and I read over them too, is the same thing that I went through with my truck, and some people told me about it. The one person who commented, and we won't go into very specifics about it, but he basically built his truck in one way, which wasn't full show. It was just sort of like done to a certain degree, and he loved it. Put tens of thousands of miles on it, and then he finished it, still enjoyed it, but then didn't drive it as much, and then redid it as a very high quality show truck, and realized like, oh, I really liked it the other way. And I went through the same thing with my 4Runner. When I first got it, when I very, very first got it, when it was just static dropped, we drove it everywhere. We took the kids and we just drove it everywhere. One, because it was kind of like a new thing, like we had just got it and it was very exciting and stuff. And then we bagged it, but we still drove it. It had the gas issues. Even way back then, it still had the gas issues, but it was still kind of like still new. So like I kind of like didn't mind doing that stuff because like it was just freshly bagged. And we drove it, and then we petitioned the club, and then we got in the club, and then it came time to paint it. And a lot of people told me, they're like, "Oh man, when you paint it, you're not going to want to drive it, and it's going to change." And back then I told them like, "No way, man! I love driving this thing. It's so much fun." They were right. As soon as I painted it, I didn't actually start getting into the habit of where I am now, and everybody knows this because we've had the podcast for a couple of years now. This is just kind of like a recent thing, me getting back into driving and enjoying it.
To be fair, though. Mm-hmm. This does involve a budget too. So depending on where you're at in your income, you know what I mean? Like you just don't have money to throw away at repainting your truck every year. Like if you were just to willy-nilly drive this thing.
Right.
But then you could protect the front with clear if you wanted to alleviate that sort of thing. So there, like, again, that you being having anxiety about driving it, there's things you can do to alleviate that anxiety.
Right.
And also what you did was your truck's a factory Toyota color.
Yeah. So
it's not a custom color. So you can paint match it if something does happen.
And I'm kind of getting okay with that. Like actually for the showcase show, the Mini Truck Revival Showcase show, I noticed something fell on it. Like I got a little ding in the back of it, and I was talking to Eric and how to fix it and stuff. But if that little ding would have happened, 8 years ago or when I got it painted, I would have freaked out. I would have like had a meltdown. But now I'm trying to like understand that, like, hey, these things, you can take care of these things.
You can fix things. It's not the end all be all.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Same with so when you go to do your interior, know that like when I go to do my interior in the Tacoma, it's not going to be a show interior. It's going to be more of like an OEM interior, just with nicer, because like when we took your truck to the Mini Truck Showcase show, like it was stuffed full of stuff.
Yeah.
You want to still be able to do that.
Right.
But also make it nicer.
Yeah.
So like that, you think of that stuff in mind.
What it goes right back to? Our plan thing, making a plan, and that's what maybe, like the person who on their third iteration of their truck, who went full show truck, like maybe they didn't plan for that. They didn't plan to be like. I think
you get so lost, and that's why the entire time in this Tacoma, I'm like, don't make it too nice. Don't make it too nice, because the second you make it too nice, you got to make it's Brent in the club with his caddy a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was just a patina caddy. It was cool. It's fun to drive around, and then it caught on fire, and he got some insurance money, and he went and he put this paint job on it that was immaculate.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with the interior now?
Got to make it
okay.
immaculate.
Now what are you going to do with the trunk?
Yep.
Now what are you going to do with the motor compartment?
Yeah.
Now you have a $150,000, $20,000 4-door Cadillac.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's also part of the plan.
Right.
Knowing, like, I know how much money I have in that Tacoma. I know how much money I can get out of it. And I know that's not the right way of thinking when it comes to building something that you love.
But you have to think about that.
But I have to think about that, because I don't want to go, you know what I mean? Like over the, the more of the fact is, like, I just don't want to make it too nice to where it's just out of my comfort zone. Right. I know my income level is not show truck income level.
Right. But also in doing so, you've actually created a really like cool aesthetic for that truck.
Yes.
Because a lot of people have said as soon as they see that thing, they're like, damn, this looks like an OEM bagged and body truck. It's like just like the little things, decisions you've made along the way has now created an aesthetic, basically.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you were doing these things like, okay, you had these ideas in your head, and then when you got to the end, you were going to have a truck that you weren't like, how am I going to put this? Like the decisions you made created an aesthetic that looks cool without going overboard.
Yeah. And without also cutting corners. So like I call it like, I'm going to go to a cruise night and win Best of Show, but I'm not going to go to Forbidden and win Best of Show. Right. Like it's a cruise night truck, but it's also, I can take it to Mini Nats and still be parked amongst the cool trucks. Like that's kind of where it is. Yeah. And it's not knocking anything else. Like you look at Oliver's truck, or you look at, these crazy trucks, and I'm glad that those are out there. But man, when I owned Ryan Nelson's truck, that Frontier, for a little while. Oh yeah. And I remember I drove it down to San Diego for a show, and I popped the hood, and I had to clean everything, and it was all chrome. Oh, you're like, and all this, and I'm just like, I am never, ever doing this.
But I took it to an extreme where I was like, I don't like doing that either when it's very simple to clean my truck. But there are some people who love that. Our friend Matt Stone, his truck is immaculate. The paint's immaculate. The interior's immaculate. The motor's immaculate. Like he sent me a video one time where the valve cover was slightly pitted, so he ripped the whole thing apart to refinish it and put it together. And he's the kind of guy who will sit at a show and spend hours detailing his truck. But you know what? that's the thing he likes.
And so do it.
And do
what
it. And
you
he does
like.
it really well.
Yeah. I don't like that. And it's not that so it's like a half and half thing. Half of me is kind of lazy, right? I'm going to admit it.
Yeah, no, me too.
Right?
Yeah.
But the other half of me understands that about that. So I combat it with not putting a lot of things on my truck to where I'm not going to enjoy it, but then also forcing myself to not be lazy.
That's the same thing I came to. That's the exact same thing I came to. Is like, and okay, we always put ourselves on blast.
Yeah.
And my thing was like, I thought maybe it was funny or quirky to have this really nice truck and not do that stuff. And I know that's a very poor way to look at things, but it was until recently. But now I'm the same way. It's like, I got to take myself out of that. And at least, even if it's not the best or it's not really the worst, but I got to maintain this thing that exists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm learning that too. We're all growing up.
We are. So yeah. And now I get to take my Tacoma and put it up on jack stands, pull the front suspension apart, and get it powder coated.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, I realized until afterwards it wasn't painted.
So we talked about the plan. I messed up.
Oh, you did? Uh-oh.
So I could have done these things while the suspension was sitting here,
right?
And I didn't. Luckily,
but isn't it because you have to maybe not modify it, but you still have to make some adjustments to get it on there?
So there's the bag cups and the stuff that you have to weld to the frame. We just painted those black, but the A-arms are set. Like those are just, they come off. And
you didn't do anything to them.
I didn't do anything to them. I could have just powder coated them while I was sitting here, but I didn't. And then there was a week in between where it was just sitting at Panda's. And then when I went back, we could have done it then because the powder coater is down the street from his shop.
Oh, really? Your Tacoma's home now?
It's I
so now you got to do all that shit here.
So now I got to do all that here, and the bushings and all that, like they're super tight in there. So I don't want to ruin them. So I'm going to take those down to tray 5 and have them knock them out, and then get them powder coated. And then after Dino's, it goes to Tanner to get
That's going to be another huge thing. Imagine that thing fires up.
Imagine that thing running and driving.
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say. Imagine that thing fires up and you drive it for the first time.
And then I go, I hate this thing.
I don't know. I hope not. I can't make that statement like, oh no, you're going to love it. Cause I don't know. I hope.
Putting that front suspension on, I sat back and I went, now it's complete. Now the front end's complete. And even I told Panda, I said, this is going to complete the front. And then he gets it all done and he looks at it and he goes, you're right. He goes, this completed the front. This made this thing, like, it put the excitement back into it, and I'm going to talk about that on the video. It's just like looking at the arms and the way they pitched up and they did this. And I like with the core support off, it looked like a trophy truck.
Oh, really?
It was crazy. Like seeing the arms all pitched and all that. It was super sick. Yeah.
My favorite part from the small video that you shared was that too, was this just watching it cycle, from it being aired up to aired out, watching the wheels cycle because it looks just so good.
Right now we have the wrong shim in the upper A-arm. So when it's all the way aired up, it's got so much positive camber. Oh, and then when you air it down, there's like no camber in it right now. And there should be camber in it. So when I sent the picture of it to Andy at Hell's Gate, he's like, where's the camber? And I was like, I have to adjust that. I have to because it comes with shims, so I take the big shims out and put the little shims in, so it pulls it in just a tad because you want camber in it.
Yeah.
So
that's like, not to talk. Well, I guess not to. I guess it's a little talk crap, but like, when you see a truck laid out and it's got the wheels perfectly straight like this, like,
yeah, it looks weird. Like you definitely.
Well, not only it looks weird, but that's not how it's
supposed to be. Yeah.
Sorry for those people whose truck lays out when the wheels are straight up and down. Sorry.
There's all these mathematical equations that I understand, but I don't understand enough to talk about them.
Right. Exactly.
Like when it comes to turning.
Yeah, I can tell you why it's wrong. Can't tell you why.
Who did I just talking to yesterday? And we were saying that same thing. We were like, I can't do it, but I can tell you what is wrong with it, like, or whatever. It's like that kind of that same thing.
Yeah. I don't know, but that was a good question though.
This is gonna be a long podcast. We're at 1:15.
Yeah, 30 minutes of it was baseball talk, and I think the title should be half baseball, half trucks.
No, I have a good title.
Oh, okay, good.
It involves the Dodgers, and trucks.
Frank's finally happy in his life. Something out of Frank's control that he has no control over finally made him happy.
Yeah. No, I want to call it the Dodgers win best of show.
I like it. Very
Yeah.
good. Clever. Very clever. I got a lot of footage to send you.
Oh, cool.
From the parade and everything, and I think it'll be cool.
Yeah. And then I'll let you make the teaser.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not very good at it.
You're fine at it. You just got to do it.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. That's why I'm not saying like I can't I'm not good at making
you're just
them.
saying you're
I
bad
can
at
make
actually
them.
doing it.
I'm bad at actually making them.
Well,
you have to remind
you were
me.
super busy on your couch watching the Dodgers last week. I get it.
I know. Like this. The Chihuahua
right.
Frank.
So next week, where are we going to be? So we are recording one episode before we go to.
Yep. Yeah. So
Should we hold off on these questions?
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely pick them up next week.
Sorry for the people that really wanted to hear us talk about leaning on trucks and registration.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We still need stuff to talk about next week before all the crazy. What's going to be interesting is the one between. What's going to be interesting is the one between Chubbs and Dino's. So we're going to have to maybe do one on a Monday or
you could just do it here.
That's what I was thinking too. Because I'm going to come out Wednesday.
Yeah, if you come out Wednesday, that'll be I have a really good fucking idea.
Hit me with it.
So Taco, Sean Bloomers from Australia.
Oh yeah.
You know him? He's got the Pathfinder. He's got a Pathfinder. He's going to be here. He'll be at my house.
Oh, cool.
So
really?
Yes, he will be here. I think like Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and then Thursday they've got an Airbnb with some guys from Severed. So I'm like, maybe we'll just have Sean on as a guest.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell us all about Australia.
Yeah.
Very cool. Mate. No, he's a cool dude. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm going to tell him.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right.
So that's what we'll
do. All right, that's it.
All right, well, we'll see you next week.
All right. Later.
livelifecustom.com. Go buy it's called the KL. It's called the KL Champs shirt. So go buy it.
The KL Champs. Yeah. Best of show. KL.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Later.
Later.